All right, we're cutting right to the chase today. We're gonna go flying at Blossom. Does that sound good? All right, so the question today that I want to ask is, what's the line that you cut yourself off from flying, like when you're going through stuff, when you're going through things of life? My faith is my anchor, and I know not everybody has the same type of thing going on in their life. You know, some people, they just reach out to their family or a loved one and talk about what's going on in their life. I typically pray, and I have a couple friends that I'm close to that I share with what's going on in my life. But there's certain situations, certain times when you might be stressed out to the max, and I think there's a line that you need to be careful not crossing. It's where you mix it's where you say, well, I need to go flying to decompress, but if you're not focused on flying, because flying demands a lot, it demands like 90% of my brain activity. That's just my little assumption. And having a small brain, you have to gotta use what you got. But the thought that I had today was, where's the line where you say, you know what, I got in a fight with my old lady, maybe I'm dealing with stuff at work, maybe it's financial stuff. There are going to be situations where you got to consider whether or not it's a good idea to fly. Yeah, where is that line? And maybe you can leave a comment. See, we're 2174. That's funny. One variometer's saying I'm going up, the other one's telling me that I was going down. Yeah, so anyways, I just had this thought. What's the line? So that's going to be the topic today. Coming over here pretty low. One of the things I really like about flying is the fact that it forces you to only think about one thing. It forces your mind and your attention, your focus to be 100%, 90% on flying. But yeah, I guess the question is, where is that line? Like at what point? I'm recently dealing with some stuff in my personal life, and it's one of those things. It's like you know, you got to have an outlet. You got to have a place to kind of burn off some of that steam. So realistically, your faith is important, obviously. I remember one of the first guys that I talked to in this sport, and he said, you know, every time you go flying, you need to pray for God's covering on you. And I thought that was the best advice, you know. And so before I go out, I always pray a little bit, and even while sometimes when it's just so breathtaking, you can't help it to just appreciate what God's made. And listen, I know there's gonna be people there and say, oh, I don't want to hear about that stuff, and I get it. And you can just flip the channel if you want to, but what is your outlet? Like, where's your line? Where do you draw the line on fly, don't fly? You know, here's the blunt way I look at it. If you're not right with God, you're not prepared to die, then you might not want to be in a sport where you could. And that's just a fact of the sport itself. It's a dangerous sport. If I could add to that, if God calls your number, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to stop it. And but anyways, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the world. We got the coronavirus is sweeping the nation right now. Things are starting to lock down. People are starting to get, you know, paralyzed with fear. Stock market took another dump today, and I don't know if it's going to be the same by the time this thing is posted. But yeah, I was just thinking, man, like, I don't know, maybe it's worth the discussion. All right, I think I'm gonna head back. I was at 3,200. It's kind of a weird day. It's really smooth, really nice. But the haze is kind of got me thinking of stability. It's a pretty stable day. I picked a pretty bad line. Coming back, a lot of sink. I'm on speed bar just to penetrate. Well, I'm on speed bar to penetrate at 20 miles an hour. It seems to me like the direction of the wind shifted a little bit south. Hopefully Amen Ridge is working. All right, well, that was really fun, and thanks for coming along. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, you should do that, and go check out some of the other videos that we've put up on the channel. Have a good day. It's Randy Clark on a paramotor. You know what's funny? Brian Steiber is still higher than the guy on the paramotor.